Meeting is now streaming live on Facebook. Hey everybody, how are you? It's Allison, kitchen and bath design coach and design specialist. So I'm here, let's see this messy hair today. One thing I hate to do is to do my hair. I don't like having to fiddle with my hair. So anyhow, today I am here talking to you about on this What's New Wednesday. You know, I'm all working on my lighting course. Um, and the webinar coming up next Tuesday. It is a paid webinar, $37, but you get a lot of information and you get the PDF sent to you ahead of time so you can follow along through the PowerPoint presentation I have scheduled. Okay, so what to talk about today? So many people have questions about kitchen and bath design. I really find it fascinating how much we can interact here on Facebook and share what we know and give back and help each other. I was listening to my friend in another group who she has, we were talking about respect in the group and respect for the person that started the group. I started this group, I thought it was in 2017, but it was in 2018, February of 2018. And I decided to do this because I wanted to. So I said, let me do it. And before you know it, here we are at almost 2,700 members. And was it just 18? So in 3 years, I'm very proud of myself for what I've done, and I appreciate all of you for your continued support during the growth of my Facebook group and my company, my teaching and the Kitchen and Bath Design Academy. And today I have Manny again with me. Manny, you say hi, Manny. Say hi. Okay, he's always on my lap. Yes, he's a lap cat. Oh, but not anymore. So I wanted to talk about, now I'm developing the class on the lighting. So there's a lot to be said about the light bulb itself, the light housing, the fixture, the mechanism of delivery, and the whole science of lighting, up light, down light, whatever. So when you're specifying for a kitchen, part of it is for eating or just for accent lighting. A lot of it is ambient lighting, which is our overall lighting. And then we have our task lighting. So when you think about the lighting in a kitchen, a lot of designers are afraid to, well, they shouldn't be afraid. You should try it. Try and do it a couple of times and see if you can come up with a good lighting plan with these principles in place. With an 8-foot ceiling, I was taught 30 years ago that the spacing for a recessed can downlight should be 4 feet, 48 inches on center. Now that doesn't always work and you can plus or minus as you go, but keep the overall dimension of 48 inches. The higher the ceiling, a little bit closer together you can go to, because as you go higher, the value of light dissipates the further it travels. So I figured I would do a basic lighting plan just to get an idea of where the lights go in a kitchen and how you should put the kitchen together. So I have a little something in 2020. I'm going to share that screen. Yes, here we go. Sharing my 2020 screen. So this is the program that designers, kitchen and bath designers really use. So I had started it and I wanted to just move these things around a little bit and kind of give an explanation of why I did what I did. So when you look at a kitchen plan like this, you have to figure out which way is north, because that is the least amount of sunlight coming in. So always in any space, whether it's a kitchen, a living room, dining room, whatever, bedroom, locate north. So once you locate north, that's the least amount of light, then you can locate your south, east, and west, determining your light functions that you need. So once you determine the adjoining rooms, for argument's sake, let's say this is the foyer coming in, and that this side is the dining room side, okay, the eating side, because this is not an eating kitchen, and this could be a kitchen with an overhang for people to sit at an island. If I wanted to put in a countertop, I'll just put in a quick countertop. And this is just a generic countertop. And I'm going to put it all over. It's going to populate that in there. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to put it over here. And I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to put it over there. Okay. So now that I have this countertop in, I can right click on it, edit the shape, and pull this out 12 to 18 inches. 18 inches, of course, I need a support. So I've pulled out this countertop a little bit, and let's say we had some seating around it. I didn't check my dimensions from anywhere. This is just for educational purposes. Forget this dimension is too close right here. This close could go, this area is okay, but this area is okay. This is a little too close. You know, this is supposed to be 36 to 48 inches for the walkway. So you have to think about your traffic pattern, always thinking about people walking in the room and leaving the room. So if we're walking into the room, is there a door? Is there not a door? And I'm walking into the dining room. Now I want to leave the dining room. So I'm going to come here. I should have access to shut off my dining room lights, but we can control our lights from the dining room area or from the foyer entrance area. So when you're doing the lights, the proper placement for a light is to the left and to the right of where you stand. Not over your head, because you're going to create a shadow. You would put it to the left, and it belongs somewhere at the edge of the countertop, the edge. A little bit further out is okay, but you don't want to put your light too close because it's going to create harsh shadows. So now, hold on, let me get that in and out. So I put my lights generally right at the edge of the countertop, which is 27 inches on center. So I would take this and I would put one on the left and one on the right. Now you could see I haven't really done my dimensions, but I've done it so many times. I'm sure I want to bet that it's around. So we're going to do line to line. Let's do line to line. So I got this to this. Did it dimension it for me? No. Point to line. Point to line. It's not quite dimensioning it. I don't know why. Whatever. I'm not turning that on and playing around with 2020. But you can see they're almost 48 inches because the window is 42. So they're almost 48 inches on center. So you just go around the room and these are suggested lighting plans, people, because everything changes on site once they start opening the ceiling up. And you might have to to come on over here, whatever. You might have to change these based on where the beams are. Like if the beam is on the wrong, runs this way, and this light fixture and this light fixture are not quite 48 inches, and maybe one has to be offset the beam, the other one has to be offset the beam. So it's okay to be 52 inches on center, 54 inches on center, 48, 42. Just make sure it's not 36 and 24. So I'm going to move this guy. So I'm going to go right around, and I might say this belongs here, and perhaps this one, if I'm going to do the math, it might be because I have a hood, I'm going to pull it out further. I might decide to, you know, you play around with it. Do I put it here? How close is it from here to here? But the premise is it's a lighting plan. So here, would I line this one up with this, or am I going to put it in front of the countertop? Well, it's not the end of the world if you line it up in the ceiling and it goes like this. Think about this. Not the end of the world as long as you have the lighting in there. Maybe I want to pull it a little closer here. Press my shift just to bring it a little closer in, and bring this one a little bit closer in. Okay, just to kind of make it go together. And I don't really need one over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So pretty much I could go with something like this. I can add a light, a pendant fixture or something above the sink. If it was above the sink centered, it would be in closer into the wall so that it's not hitting on your head. It would be over here. And I would possibly have it switched to just this one switch here. So, and this is my refrigerator. If I need a light for my refrigerator, let's duplicate this. The place to put the one by the refrigerator is away, out, because the door, the cabinet, the crown molding above the refrigerator cabinet all has a projection. So this light fixture gets out about 32 to 36 inches from the back wall. These are pendant fixtures. Pendant fixtures, again, roughly 48, 36 to 48 inches on center, depending on the size of the island and the size of your fixture. And these should be, you know, centered somewhat over the island. It could be one fixture, it could be two fixtures, it could be three. You really have to know what type of pendant fixture you're using. So now the next thing to do is to join them together. And what I do is I just say, okay, I'm going to switch. Walking in my room, I want to be able to switch this on. I don't know. No, let's escape out of that. So I just want to do, okay, I want to say I get into the room and I switch on this, which controls also this. This isn't really the best program to do this in. See that? See that? Because it really should be, let's go freehand. Go here to here. I don't know. I can't do it. So anyway, this really is supposed to, this line is supposed to go to this one. Let's see if I can fix this. Edit this shape. No. It could go here. Let me back out of that. This thing. Let me delete that. Okay, so I would then take a line, and I might do this by hand because look how stupid and long this is taking. Here, let's try this arch. Go to here and to here. Oh, okay, there's the one. And let's do it again. And from here to here. Okay, so these two go switched on here. Now I want it to be able to also switch it on from the dining room side. So I'm going to switch it from here to here. And what, actually, let me push this the other way. Well, I can't now. Okay, whatever. And because this is on two switches, you're going to add the number 3. So it's a 3-way switch, meaning it can control from 2 areas. It's an on-off, a 2-way switch, but then it's a 3-way because you could do it in another area. So it's on-off from another area. So then I'm going to take my next lights and I'm going to say, okay, these are the lights I've got here. And I'm going to bang these all together in this. I'm going to gang them all together. I'm going to make it so that when the light switch goes on, all of these lights go on at the same time. So I have one switch to control these lights. And again, I might say I want it to be able to turn on from over here to my switch. And I want it to turn on from here to this switch. I just have to add the number 3 to everything. So I've got these lights. So the electrician is going to look. And maybe the placement of these is going to change. Like I would go in and start dimensioning my center lines and do a whole plan, get rid of all of these cabinet nomenclatures and just give a clear ceiling plan, a lighting plan. And you could see there's some light missing over here. So you could say, you know, I think I want to add, no, not the arc. I want the light fixture. The light fixture. It's going to let me get a light fixture. Pick a fixture. So see, this is why we pay people the big bucks to do what we need to do, because I know I can't do it. Oh. I have to go along and start adding. It's a pain in the neck to do this and this. Now I have to go find the light instead of duplicating it. It's being a pain in the tuchus. I would add probably another few hi-hats, not over here, but maybe in this corner here, one here, just to light up the room, one here, one, and one, just to illuminate this area a little more, just to give it overall ambient light. And then I would make another switch and do the same thing. Because maybe I might have a pantry here, maybe there's no wall. This is just for demonstration. And here we have our light over the sink. We're just going, oh, I should have, let's undo that. Can I undo that? I wonder if it'll let me repeat this. Oh, good. Duplicate. So let's put that, let's go one here. And then put, maybe we could do wall washers or something here. Make another down. And you could add one more just to balance out the area. Okay, and then you can group these because we don't want these necessarily to come on at the same time as the other ones. And also how many lights on a switch can you have? How many watts? How many? You can't put all the lights on one switch because of the different runs and how many transformers you need, or how many lumens you need, or your energy. So you can't just, and you don't want the whole place to light up at the same time. So we're going to go in and add let's see if I could duplicate my switch. Well, let me duplicate a switch. Yes. Add a switch and add a switch. Okay, so we have a switch here for the pendant fixture. And from this switch, we're going to have it go on. And from this switch, we're going to have it go on. So I would just come back in here and put the little 3, S3, S3, S3. So we have a switch for 3. Okay, so now you have a basic understanding of the electrician can go in there and go, oh, look at that. I've got these lights going on over here. I've got these lights going on over here, and these lights going on over here. And then you're going to have the legend of this S and this, the S, you put your legend here on the side or across the top or somewhere, and you make your reference legend of what is what. This is a single switch. These are 3-way switches. And now you're also going to go in and put in your outlets. And outlets, oh gosh, miscellaneous. Let's see. Not room decor. Architectural elements. Where's Colin? It's here, decorative. Okay, close, because I can't be bothered with this. Now you're going to go underneath here. I'm going to do, where's my items? And I'm going to put in under counter lighting. And here's my little rectangle. Okay, and I'm just going to duplicate, copy. And I'm going to put it over. Does it let you paste it? No. So I would go in and put my under cabinet lighting, maybe I'd hashtag it, give it some kind of a reference. And I would put one here, one here, one here, all wherever my lighting is wanted. Okay, anywhere. And with these lights, I would do the same thing. They need a switch. So you have to have a switch, and you could make the switch over here. Where do you think you would want it? Where would the most logical place be to put a switch for your under counter lighting? Would you put it by the wall going in and out? Would you put it on the wall over here, turning it on? Where would you put your switch for your under counter light. So you would switch it and put it in place and have another bunch of lines going through your drawing. What I normally like to do is I like to color code them. But you would do the same idea with your rectangles. Every light fixture, you would have to arch it together and make it show where the fixture and the switches are. I'm not putting in that rectangle thing because it's a pain in the tuchus. Well, actually, maybe not. Here we go. Let's put one in here. Put one in there. And we could put one in here. It's not really a rectangle. I'd have to swing it, swivel it, turn it, rotate it here. And here, this one, I might make that one a bigger one. And let's add one to here. And now I'm not getting into the exact sizes. I'm just putting something in here to give a lighting plan. Okay, I didn't specify the light fixture. I didn't say what goes where. I just said there's an undercount light here and here. And then this one is also hooked to this one. Okay, so, and we're going to have a switch. Just can't duplicate anything. I know there's an electrical thing, how to do that, room layout, items. I don't know. I forget because I don't do this all the time. But you could see now you have it. You have your layered lighting. You have some ambient lighting, your overall lighting. You have your decorative or accent lighting, which would be our pendants or a pendant or recessed over the sink. And we have our under counter lighting to the side. So when I say you would be making your legend, you would be putting it out here and adding a description of what it is under cabinet lighting. And that's where you would specify what brand, whatever you have going in on this area here. So you're going to put your recess symbol. Here's your circle. It's a recess light. There's my circle. But it would have the light because I got this from electrical. So you're going to have one for this and one for the that's a pendant fixture. And you're going to write over there under counter lighting, recessed lighting, pendant lighting with this little guy here with the, see the X, the cross through it? That's a pendant light. And then you're going to put the switch here, and then you're going to put a three-way switch. So now your electrician and your space has a comprehensive suggested lighting plan. Keep in mind, these are primarily at the edge of the countertop. That the area by the range is going to have a hood, so you might have to pull your lights out even further, otherwise you're going to get shadows. So it's okay to be out a little bit. You don't want to be in closer than 27 inches on center, because it's going to highlight and you're going to be too close into the wall cabinets. It's going to obstruct part of the cone of glass of light. So this is how you develop a comprehensive lighting plan. Now I should go in and dimension all these, but I'm only going to do that once I've got it all set up, and I can do it in the computer or I can do it by hand. So keeping in mind also, pull the light out by any tall pantry, tall refrigerator, any tall oven cabinet that goes to the ceiling. You want it, because it's 24 inches deep, you need to pull that light out to clear all the crown moldings and whatnot. Same goes for the exhaust hood And in the kitchen by the sink, you might want to put a little light on top of it. Okay, so that is, and let me just save this because I did it. So I'll put that up there and let me say I'm going to stop sharing. So there, I stopped sharing. Let me go back into my Facebook group and see if we have anybody that has any questions. Okay. All right. I do not have the link of it up here. So I don't know where I am live in. Maybe in here. I just want to make sure that if anyone has any questions, that I am commenting on them. I don't see any comments yet, but if that's the gist of a lighting plan. I've said it before and I'll just reiterate it. You got to walk yourself through the space. You've got to picture yourself in the space. Designers are able to think of things three-dimensionally and in perspective. That's why we have the gift of being good interior designers. So if you physically walk through the space and think a minute, okay, where would I want to be able to turn on those under counter lights? Do I want to be able to turn them on when I first come in the kitchen, like right over there? Because maybe at night when I come in, I might want to leave the under cabinet lights on if I wake up in the middle of the night, or if someone's coming in at night, or for whatever reason. You want to have easy on, easy off, and multiple locations for your electric outlets. So that would be the other thing. The next step to your electric plan would be putting in your backsplash outlets. And the same way that I did where I thought about how to put the lights in, I want to think about my outlets. Let me just see if I can share my screen again, because I'll do that before I have one. We'll just do some electric outlets. It's just very annoying to me because there is the symbol. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. So now you would do the same thing with your backsplash outlets. So first of all, one thing you need to know is, I wish I had the freaking, is that outlets, I'm going to delete that. I don't like that. The outlet is the circle with the two prongs. The circle with the two prongs. Layout. Wish I could get that. Add-ons. Add symbols. Let's see, symbols. There we go. Okay, receptacle outlets. Wall types, switch outlets. So here would be my switch outlet. Single pole, double pole, three-way switch. So here would be what a three-way switch would look like. And it should have, oh, it didn't have the number 3 on it. It should have the number next to it. Oh, it's not showing up. Okay, so a dimmer switch, you know, you have each thing, it's going to have a D next to it if it's a dimmer, a three-way dimmer, door switch. So you have all these different electric thermostats. So here I'm going to put in a receptacle outlet. Okay. So I have a duplex. Typically they're duplexes. So not like a double story, but a duplex outlet, meaning 2. So That's what's normally in a kitchen, a duplex outlet. So I'm going to say I want my outlet. See how this is? Your outlet is this circle with the two bars on it, though, like a plug. So that's what your duplex. So I'm going to say that I'm by the sink, and I definitely want one to the right of the sink and to the left of the sink. And if I've got one there, perhaps I should put one over definitely on this countertop. Maybe I want to put it more in the corner because I might have more storage under that corner wall cabinet. And then I want to put another one on this side of the countertop. And another one goes on, it's probably not going to let me put it on here. Oh, here we go. Let me rotate it though. It goes on the side, a side of the island. So see, I wouldn't put this switch, this outlet on this side of the island because it has an overhang. So here I'm just going to write, and I'm going to add in my notes. You have to make a separate line for your notes. Delete this. And okay, so these boxes show up in everything. So I would have a legend box, and I would go up here, and I would go to add notes, and then I would add my notes here, and it would say, and I would say a duplex outlet GFI white, so I can determine the color. So I'm going to tell the contractor, unless I'm specifying the outlets, I'm going to tell him I want white outlets. So the contractor knows these little symbols are duplex outlets, GFI, and they're in white. And I would do the same thing for the switch. I would put a single pole switch, double pole, single pole, triple, whatever. You write it in there. And then this, if I had symbols like, let's see what my symbols are again. If I can do under counter lighting, symbols, lighting, miscellaneous ceiling, miscellaneous duct. I can even put in my duct work. So if you have air conditioning, you might want to say, well, listen, don't put the duct over here. Put the duct over here. I don't know anything about ducting, but perhaps I want to tell the contractor that this is where duct work would go. And I would duplicate that, and I would put it here and write what it is. Because some contractors are familiar with these things, some contractors aren't, but you always want to say, if you put this symbol here, you make a legend, and then you put all of your stuff here. So it's just like an architect makes a legend for your windows and doors. This is your legend for your outlets. And if you wanted to go so far as to dedicate the brand, you can put the brand in there as well. You could say, I want, Lutron, Diva, blah, 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 blah. Because there's so much to do now with all of the switches and the light fixtures and this and that. So the more information you give to the electrician, the better off you're going to be procuring the design. Now, even if you couldn't give the exact dimensions, you're not really sure. I mean, you should all know how to take a scale by hand and double check your work with the scale or a program that dimensions it between one line and another line, and give some kind of a guideline. And always say it is suggested lighting plan. However, when it comes to that island, where the island is, the placement of those pendants is key, because that's where the island is going to go. So those are probably the most important dimensions of where exactly it goes, because you have to figure out, let's share that again. You have to figure out where this light goes. You right here, our pendant, this dimension is equal to from the back wall. All of your dimensions are from a wall out. So this dimension, you would need to know it needs to be X amount of inches on center here, X amount of inches on center here, because I'm going to add up my 24 inches for my cabinetry, my 42 to 48 inches for my walkway, plus the center line. I have a 24 inches plus 12-foot overhang. That's 3 feet. So it's the 24 plus 48 plus half of 36 is 18. So you would dimension this pendant fixture at 24 plus 48 plus 18, because that's half of 36, at 90. So this fixture, you would say, you would reference it from this wall to this wall and say it's 90 inches on center, and from this wall to this wall, blah, 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 blah. So you see these, you need to dimension so they get put in the right spot. And always, so don't dimension, you can dimension between fixtures, but if you're dimensioning from the wall, out, you always want to go to the wall. I wouldn't measure from this fixture to this fixture. I go from the wall to the fixture. Okay. So because you want to say, in reality, let's take all the cabinets out. And that's really what the electrician is looking for. So that's a little bit about dimensioning your lighting plan. So anyway, these are the things I talk about. This is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I do. I teach, I tell you. So don't be afraid to do your suggested lighting plan. And even if you don't dimension it, at least the contractor can kind of figure out what you're talking about. And light fixtures do not belong 36 inches apart unless you have a 10-foot ceiling. Light fixtures are generally, the recessed housings are 48 inches on center, give or take a little bit. So, and then you have to realize, if you put all these lights in a row and then nobody's looking up to the ceiling to see what your lighting plan is. Because first of all, when the lights are on, I can't see at the light fixtures. And when I'm looking in my kitchen, I'm really looking at the cabinets, the backsplash, the hardware. I'm not looking at the ceiling unless there is a detail like a coffer or an extension down or molding, something that's going to draw my eye up. So don't be afraid to tackle a lighting plan and work through the lighting plan. And you could very well get called to the project job site when the electrician is there. And it's good to go to the job site, talk to the electrician, because I'm giving a suggested plan, but I don't know how to run the wires. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure that this is what can happen. I want this to happen, but the electrician is going to make sure that it can happen. And tell me where I'm wrong. So you don't want to be like, it's okay to make a mistake and tell the electrician, well, it's an adjusted lighting plan. For the most part, the contractors will work with you. If you get the ones with an attitude, no matter what you do, they're going to have an attitude. But keep in mind that what happens on the ceiling, all those housings and light bulbs and everything, what's critical is the light that emanates from the fixtures and how properly the room is lit. You want to spread the room lighting consistently, maybe one area lit and then another area lit. So just give it a lot of thought when you are putting it together, and you will have a great lighting plan. And what I sometimes do, if I have too many lights going around, sometimes we get these huge, large kitchens, I color code them for my own and for also the contractor. Because if I find that if I color code everything, or I go over it with the blue or red, or I change the color of those lines, it just helps to differentiate my circuit run. So those are my suggestions for a lighting plan. I hope you enjoyed this. Please keep an eye out for the live. It's going to be a live webinar masterclass next Tuesday for the basics. It's not this. It's other stuff. So come and learn. If you want to learn something and get some really valuable information, a nice PowerPoint and a PDF files to keep on record for your own library, come and join this webinar. It's going to be really great. I could go on for hours with this webinar, but who wants to sit there? So it's going to be about 45 minutes, and then I'll open it up to some Q&A if anybody has any questions. Yeah, so that's what's happening. And also don't forget the Kitchen and Bath Design Academy, where there's more extensive learning, one-on-one training, and more exclusive lessons, and a much more private Facebook group. Okay, guys, have a great day. Remember, we love and respect each other as best we can, and keep a positive attitude, positivity, and spring is coming. The holidays are here. We're having Passover. We're having Easter. I think Passover and Easter are usually like about the same. So lots of nice holidays coming up. Again, let's hope we all get our vaccines and can visit with our family sooner rather than later. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Thank you. Ciao for now. See, it should end it.